Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Krall, and today I'm going to be mansplaining to you about self-actualization. A lot of people wonder what I mean exactly when I use the phrase self-actualization. And a lot of people who are coming into this world of personal development and such are thinking to themselves, well, why shouldn't I just accept myself the way that I am? Why do I need to improve myself or better myself or, try to be better than I already am? Well, you see, self-actualization is about being your best self, or what we call in logotherapy your idealized self. And part of this is actually about accepting yourself for who you are and the way that you already are, at least in the aspects that you cannot help and improve yourself or don't want to. But generally speaking, people are always changing and growing. That's what life is all about. If you just accepted yourself the way you already are, you would have never grown out of childhood. You would still be a mental juvenile, which some people are these days. And that's what happens when you do not grow and adapt as you age. And so that's something that you really shouldn't want. Obviously, you have come to be the person you are today through learning and growing from the world around you. So personal development and self-improvement just engages that natural process more consciously and fully. But it's not just about improving yourself. You also want to get in touch with the real, true, authentic you, your core identity, as it's called in logotherapy, the psychological science of identity work that I keep mentioning here, which exists because, unfortunately, most people simply do not have the self-awareness to realize their true identity. But if you do have an idea or maybe an image in your head about what your ideal self would be, that is what personal development can help you become. And this work is called self-actualization. It means becoming your true idealized self. And so in my work with logotherapy and other forms of identity work and personal development and psychology, what I try to do is to formulate blueprints for self-actualization, which is a difficult task because obviously everyone is different in many ways, and thus their path to self-actualization and what they do to achieve it will be different, at least in some of those ways. But luckily also, there are so many ways that human beings are all fundamentally the same, right? So while I can't get too specific when trying to talk about personal development, in general, there are so many psychological and personal development principles that will apply to everyone. So if you're out there wondering, well, how can you make broad sweeping generalizations about self-actualization that will apply to everyone, you will be pleasantly surprised to find that I can, and I have and will in fact be stating 10 qualities of a self-actualized person in this video. So I'm actually going to be giving you a full list of the principles of self-actualization that do apply to everyone, no matter who you are or what self-actualization might mean more specifically to you, because this is a list of elements that are part of what it means to be your best self and are general enough that they can be applied to anyone's character or lifestyle. These are personality traits and character qualities that everyone should try to possess. And if you embody these qualities, I guarantee you will become self-actualized, or I will give you your money back, guaranteed. So enough beating around the bush. What are the 10 qualities of a self-actualized person? Or maybe I should say self-actualized man, since this self-development work is actually more of man's work, something you wouldn't find most women engaging in, at least not on this level. First, the self-actualized person is internally validated. They're going to have a very high sense of self-esteem and self-worth that doesn't allow itself to fluctuate all that much based upon the judgments of others. They're going to be internally validated, not externally validated, and will be largely unaffected by any sort of external validation or invalidation they may get from others. This doesn't mean that they are not always improving and bettering themselves, or that they can't listen to constructive criticism from the right people in their lives who matter. It just means that when they get negative feedback or when something negative happens to them, they are able to continue on their path unfazed by it when it comes to their self-worth and self-esteem, which is generally unaffected by external stimuli. Second, the self-actualized person is authentic and genuine. They don't feel the need to put on airs. They are proud of who they are and do not try to be something they are not in order to make a certain impression upon others. Their impression that they make on others is one of authenticity. People can tell they are a genuine person, refreshingly so. And when I say that they don't try to be something that they are not, this doesn't mean that they don't ever change in life, that they can't grow and better themselves if there's something they don't like about themselves, that they want to change about themselves. You know, if they find that they have weaknesses or faults and flaws that they would rather turn into strengths, they could certainly do that. They're certainly allowed to do self-development, but a big part of self-actualization is self-awareness and self-acceptance. And so the self-actualized person is constantly getting to know themselves and who they really are on a deeper level, uncovering their core identity more and more as time goes on. It's a process of self-discovery just as much as it is self-improvement. And so for this reason, the self-actualized person is not afraid to present their true self to others. And because they are so genuine and authentic and true to themselves and constantly engaging in this introspection, they're able to present themselves very authentically to others, which others will generally appreciate. A self-actualized person is completely open and honest with themselves, and usually others as well, because of the fact that that is just what comes naturally to them as an authentic person. And that is the foundation of self-actualization right there. Along with the next one, which is awareness. Number 3, the self-actualized person is highly aware. Just like being genuine and authentic and stemming from them, those who are self-actualized are highly self-aware, both of themselves and of the things that are going on around them in their reality. Self-awareness is the foundation for self-actualization, along with authenticity. And awareness and authenticity go together hand in hand. If you do not know who you really are deep inside, then you cannot embody your core identity, much less become your idealized self. So people who live their lives wearing masks and embodying these false social personas are going to really struggle with self-actualization because they do not possess the fundamental foundation of it, that is authenticity and awareness that comes from self-acceptance and being true to who you really are. Again, you cannot try to be something you are not. You need to practice self-acceptance, and in order to do that, what you need is self-awareness. And then being aware and having a full understanding of yourself and your personal reality and life and the situations you are faced with in it are then going to play a very important role in your success in life. So you see, one thing leads to another. Those who become successful and self-actualized do so because they are analytical people and have a very deep and thorough comprehension of who they are and the life they are living and the things they are involved in, and it all stems from their high level of awareness. If you're enjoying listening to what I have to say, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel I'm adding value to your life, you can also tip me at the PayPal link below in proportion to the amount of value added. Your support will help me be able to continue this work because the oppressive fascists at YouTube are against this kind of content and actively trying to suppress it. So it is only with the help of viewers like you that I'll be able to keep fighting the good fight. For the self-actualized person is open-minded. The only way to have a strong sense of awareness of anything and to have a strong sense of self and personal reality is to have a large scope of reality. And this only occurs through having an open mind. Many people feel self-actualized by being strong in their convictions about who they are and what their reality is, when in actuality, they're really only being closed-minded and actually limiting their scope of reality and how much they can possibly grow. In order to grow your personal reality and broaden its scope, your mind must be open to new possibilities, even if they go against what you already thought you knew to be true or what you thought reality already was. The only way to be enlightened is not rule anything out, even if it seems strange and different. And being enlightened and having a broad scope of reality is an important part of self-actualization, because self-actualization is very much about the strength and size of your personal reality. And then number 5, the self-actualized person is thoughtful. Those who become self-actualized are big thinkers. They're not idle minds, but are always thinking of things that are important to them. This is how they're able to come up with creative solutions to problems, do very well on their projects, and have prosperous endeavors. Thought is what produces results, and thus those who think the most get the most results and are the most successful in life. And the more thoughtful you are, the more big picture your thoughts can become, and the greater your success will be. Also, self-actualized people are not just thoughtful, but are critical thinkers, and thus are always analyzing themselves and their lifestyle and situations they are in their business and any projects or endeavors that they are working on, so that they can be as successful as possible in them. And thus, they are always growing. People who are not critical thinkers generally cannot succeed, as they do not possess a high level of awareness of themselves and the things in their lives, and find it hard to understand complicated situations or distinguish what to do in them. Luckily, this is not something you're either born with or not. It is something that can be developed through a lot of contemplation and analysis, and with that, you will find much greater levels of success. And then next, number 6, the self-actualized person is purposeful. Those who are self-actualized are so because they have contemplated and realized their life's purpose, which is a huge part of who they are as a person. And knowing their life's purpose allows them the ability to have a purposeful and meaningful life, which is the basis for self-actualization. It also gives them the ability to discover what their life's work is and how they can fulfill their life's purpose through it, which is how self-actualization is accomplished. And most often, a self-actualized person will have derived a way to make their life's work into their actual career, often through entrepreneurship. Which leads me to the next one, number 7. A self-actualized person is very passionate and driven. Those who are self-actualized are so because they know what they are passionate about in life and make those passions a huge part of their life so that they can live a much more significant and enriching one. They usually use their passions to not only create a much more enjoyable life, but one that is lived more purposefully as well, and a much more eventful one at that. And some even use these passions as a part of their life's work in their career or a company of their own that they start. And whatever the case, those who become self-actualized do so because they are driven in life towards accomplishment and pursue their dreams with persistence, fueled by their drive for success and self-actualization, which is what causes them to make so much progress and succeed and become the person they want to be most ultimately. Because they are also, number 8, proactive. A self-actualized person is generally going to be a self-made man and have gotten the betterment and success they wanted in life from being proactive in their pursuits. They take initiative to do the things that they want in life, live it the way that they want, and make it what they want it to be, not expecting anyone else to. They become the person who they want to be and live the life of their dreams because of the fact that they are proactive and take initiative and do what it takes to get where they want to be. Strong, successful, self-actualized people are not born, they are made, self-made. You cannot expect self-actualization to be given to you by anyone else. It's something that you have to do for you. Self-actualized people are proactive simply because that is what it takes to become self-actualized at all. That, and number 9, being growth-oriented. I meet a lot of people who would rather tell themselves that they do not need to work on personal development because they're already successful, and why would they want to change themselves? They accept themselves for who they already are. Those who tell themselves that they're good enough and shouldn't bother trying to do more with themselves will simply stagnate in life. It is their egoic pride as well as their laziness that causes them to lack the humble strength to tell themselves that they can and should keep working on themselves and growing all the time. These people can never achieve greatness because success and self-actualization is only accomplished by those who never stop developing themselves and growing as they get older. To ever tell yourself that you've gone as far as you can in life is a limitation and will not only cause stagnation, but regression and backsliding. Many of these people think that their current level will be self-sustaining, but You cannot even sustain that which you are not constantly working at without falling backwards. So as long as you've worked so hard to get wherever you're at, and you're going to have to keep working at it just to stay there, why not just keep working on moving forward past your current threshold into greater levels in life? Each new level you attain is really just the foundation for the next one. And then lastly, number 10, the self-actualized person is adaptive. Those who are rigid will not be able to flow through all of life's variables. At some point, they will be stopped by one and will not be able to adapt to it. Life will always be putting us in different situations, putting different obstacles in our path. And those who are most fluid and adaptable, who are able to keep progressing steadily with consistency, even through widely varied circumstances, are the ones who become successful and self-actualized. Those who are not fluid will find themselves getting stuck and having trouble adapting and unable to move through certain situations that occur. In order to progress the furthest and accomplish all of your goals and achieve all of your dreams, you must be fluid and adaptable in your life. After all, it is through adaptation that we develop and grow into our ideal selves. And the way that we maintain our self-actualization is through continuing to adapt to everything we need to in our life. So those are the 10 qualities of a self-actualized character. I hope that you found that very enlightening and helpful, and that you will be mindful of these qualities and aspire to develop them more in yourself so that you too can become self-actualized and be the person that you want to be most ultimately. But otherwise, that concludes this video. Thanks for listening. Hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button. And if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. And if you're a deep intellectual thinker like me and are really into philosophy and metaphysics and ontology and spirituality and theoretical physics and other such things, be sure to get yourself a copy of the Bible of Esoteric Knowledge, linked below, on sale for a special price that won't last long and is sure to give you the intellectual stimulation that you hunger for. It is an extremely dense read that is written in verse format like the Bible and is so information packed, full of the most esoteric knowledge that you can find, with a lot of Eastern influences such as Taoism and Buddhism and shamanism. So get your copy at the Amazon link below, and otherwise you can stay tuned for the next video coming out tomorrow, which will be on the topics of external and internal validation. And until then, take care of yourselves, men, because no woman out there is going to.